I never expected one night to redefine everything I thought I knew about love, loyalty, and trust. Sometimes we think heartbreak is just an emotion, something soft, something temporary. But when I walked into that party and saw what I saw, it wasn't my heart that broke. It was my entire understanding of the person I loved. And that kind of break doesn't heal overnight. It doesn't heal in months. Sometimes, it never heals at all. The day began quietly. I was in the kitchen, stirring a cup of tea, scrolling through my messages, when one popped up from my friend Mia. "Party tonight! You both better come." She was excited as always, full of energy, full of noise, full of chaos, the kind that fills a room even through text. I turned toward my husband, Adam, who sat on the couch, scrolling through emails, eyes glued to the screen. "There's a party tonight," I said softly. "Wanna go?" He didn't look up immediately, didn't smile, didn't ask who's going, didn't ask what time. After a small, suspicious pause, he just muttered, "Yeah, maybe. I'll see. I might be late. A lot of work." Lately, work had become the third partner in our marriage. Work dinners, work trips, work calls, work messages, work late nights, work. I told myself not to overthink it. Married couples go through phases. People get busy. People get tired. People get distracted. It happens. But something inside me felt hollow. As evening approached, I got dressed alone. A soft black dress, a little perfume, simple jewelry. I stood in front of the mirror and whispered to myself, "You look good. He'll love it." Except I didn't know whether he'd even show up. I texted him before leaving. "Leaving now, see you there." No reply. When I reached the party, music and laughter filled the room. People danced, drank, argued, flirted. Everything normal, everything loud, everything alive. I smiled at a few familiar faces and walked in deeper, looking for Adam. Left side of the room. No Adam. Near the bar. No Adam. Backyard. No Adam. Kitchen. No Adam. A little frustration bubbled up in my chest, but I swallowed it. I pulled out my phone to call him. But before I could tap his name, I saw him. At the far end of the hallway. And he wasn't alone. He stood there holding someone. A girl with her arms around his waist, his chin gently resting on her head. He wasn't comforting her. He wasn't casually touching her. He was holding her like she meant something. Like she belonged there. Like she was part of his life. My body froze. My heart stopped. When someone betrays you, you don't feel pain immediately. You feel shock. A heavy disbelieving fog. A sudden numbness that spreads through every part of you. The girl lifted her face toward him. She smiled. He smiled back. It wasn't the smile he gave strangers. It was the smile he used to give me. And that was the moment my soul cracked. I could not move, could not speak, could not breathe. But slowly, painfully, he looked up and saw me. His smile vanished. His body stiffened. His hands dropped from the girl's waist as if he had been caught stealing. "But baby, wait!" he stuttered. "It's not what it looks like." I didn't say a word. Silence is louder than screaming. Silence hurts more than yelling. Silence means the pain has gone too deep for noise. The girl looked confused. She stepped slightly away from him, frowning, glancing between us. I finally spoke, my voice calm, too calm. "Who is she?" Adam opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. She's a friend," he said quickly. "She was upset. I was comforting her. The girl immediately shook her head. Not dramatic, not defensive, not rebellious, just disappointed. She whispered, "Is this your wife?" Adam's face turned white. She looked at me with genuine guilt. I didn't know," she said softly. "He told me he was single." I felt a knife twist somewhere deep inside my chest. "He told you what?" I asked. She swallowed. "We've been seeing each other for almost 3 months. 3 months, 3 months of lies, 3 months of excuses, 3 months of late nights and fake stories. 3 months of me making dinner alone, sleeping alone, worrying alone." I looked at Adam. He couldn't meet my eyes. The girl continued, voice trembling. "He invited me tonight. He said he didn't want to hide us anymore." Hide us. The word stabbed deeper. Adam grabbed her wrist, panicking. "Stop talking, just please stop." She pulled her hand back, shaking her head in disbelief. "You told me you weren't with anyone." My voice cracked for the first time. Not anger, not shouting, just pain. "How many more lies, Adam?" He stepped closer. "Please, I can explain." "No," I said, "you can't." He reached for my arm. I stepped back. Touch from a liar feels like poison. "I made a mistake," he whispered. "I was lonely. You were always busy. We drifted apart." I laughed, a broken, empty laugh. "So you found comfort in someone else?" He tried again. "It didn't mean anything." "It meant enough for you to bring her here," I snapped. "Enough for you to hold her like she was yours. Enough for you to lie for months." The girl whispered, "I'm sorry. I didn't know." For a strange moment, I felt no anger toward her. She wasn't the one who made vows to me. She wasn't the one who promised loyalty. She wasn't the one who slept beside me every night. He was. I turned away from both of them and walked out. Every step felt heavier than the last. The music that once felt lively now felt like needles in my ears. Faces blurred around me. Someone asked if I was okay. I didn't answer. When I reached outside, the cold air hit my skin, but my body was burning from inside. My mind kept replaying the scene. His arms, her smile, his lies, her confession. 3 months. 3 months. 3 months. I didn't cry. Not yet. Sometimes heartbreak delays its tears. I drove home in silence. When I reached, I sat in the car for 10 minutes, staring at the dashboard, breathing heavily, trying not to fall apart. The moment I stepped inside the house, memories attacked me. Us cooking together, us laughing on the couch, us watching movies, him holding me the same way he held her, him saying, "I love you," with the same smile. Had everything been a lie? My phone buzzed non-stop. Adam calling, Adam texting. "Please pick up. We need to talk." It wasn't serious. She misunderstood. "Please don't leave me." I threw the phone on the bed. Minutes later, the doorbell rang non-stop. He was outside, begging, crying, apologizing. I didn't open the door. He kept saying, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." But sorry is meaningless when the damage is permanent. After he finally left, I sat on the floor, knees close to my chest, and cried silently. The kind of cry that has no sound, no movement, just a slow, painful breaking. It took hours for the tears to stop. The next morning, he came again. This time, I opened the door. He looked ruined. Eyes swollen. Hair messy. Voice shaking. "Please, give me one chance," he begged. "For what?" I asked. "To lie better." Next time. He dropped to his knees. I'll do anything. Therapy, counseling, honesty, anything. Just don't leave. But something inside me had already died. Trust, once shattered, doesn't return in the same shape. I didn't leave you last night, I whispered. You left me 3 months ago. He broke down. But I didn't. Because when someone betrays you, they lose you long before you walk away. When I left that party, I wasn't leaving just a room. I was leaving a version of myself who believed him, who trusted him, who loved him. And sometimes, walking away is the only way to survive. Healing didn't happen fast. It didn't happen easily. But it happened. And the day I finally looked in the mirror and said, I deserved better, was the day I knew. Walking into that party broke my heart. But walking out of that relationship saved my life. The music thumped louder as I stepped closer to the edge of the balcony. Down below, the party kept moving like nothing in the world was wrong. People laughed, danced, flirted, clinked drinks together. So normal, so unaware that someone's life upstairs was quietly breaking apart. Ethan stood at the bottom of the stairs, looking around for me. I stepped back instantly, wiping my face, forcing my breathing to steady. When he finally spotted me, he raised his hand slightly, signaling me to come down. His face looked tense, almost apologetic, but I didn't trust that expression anymore. Not now. When I walked down the stairs, his voice softened. Ava, please. Can we talk? Not here. I didn't answer him. I walked right past him and kept going toward the exit. He followed quietly, not grabbing my hand, not forcing me, almost like he knew if he touched me, I'd break. Outside, the night air felt colder than it should have. It wrapped around me like a warning, or maybe a reminder. Things were about to change, whether I was ready or not. Ava, Ethan whispered behind me. I turned slowly. You have 1 minute. Not a second more. He swallowed hard. That girl is no one to me. She was in your arms, I interrupted. In your arms, Ethan. Not just standing beside you. Not just talking. You were holding her like she mattered. He ran a hand through his hair. It was a mistake. She was drunk and stumbled, and I... Don't lie, I said, my voice cracking, despite my effort to stay composed. Don't give me the version that makes you look good. Give me the real one. For a moment, the street was silent, except for a distant car passing. He looked away and whispered, I don't know what to say. That was the moment I realized something bigger was hiding underneath his silence. Ethan, I said slowly, is there something you're not telling me? He exhaled sharply, like someone finally punched the truth out of him. Ava, please. Not here. Then where? He looked at the ground. Home. I almost laughed. Home. The place that suddenly felt unfamiliar, unstable, unsafe. But I nodded, just once. Fine. Home. The drive back was quiet, painfully quiet. He drove slowly, carefully, like he was afraid a sharp turn might break the thin thread holding us together. The whole time he kept glancing at me, trying to read my face, but I stared out the window, watching streetlights blur into streaks. When we reached home, I stepped inside without waiting for him. The house was dark except for the dim lamp in the corner. I sat on the couch, arms crossed, breathing hard. Ethan stood in front of me, but he didn't sit. He looked nervous, genuinely nervous, like he was about to confess something he had kept buried for too long. Ava, he began, that girl, Lily. She used to be someone I knew. My heart sank, but I stayed silent. She wasn't just drunk. She wasn't just being friendly. She was trying to get my attention. And I didn't stop her fast enough. I blinked slowly. Did you two have a history? He hesitated. Too long. Ethan, answer me. Yes, he whispered finally. A long time ago, before you. The room felt suddenly smaller. And now, I asked, do you still have feelings for her? No, he said instantly. Too instantly. My chest tightened. Then why were you holding her like that? He looked tortured. Because she told me something I wasn't ready to hear, something I didn't know how to tell you. I leaned forward slightly. What did she tell you? He closed his eyes for a moment, like he needed strength to say the next words. She said she's been in love with me for years, that she regrets letting me go, and when she saw me at the party, she asked me for one last chance. I stared at him, shock freezing me in place. And you? I whispered. What did you say? He moved closer. I told her no, Ava. I told her I love you, that I'm with you, that nothing she says changes that. I felt my throat tighten with a painful mix of relief and suspicion. Then why were you holding her? I asked again, quieter now, but sharper. He swallowed, because she started crying. She leaned on me, and I, stupidly, didn't push her away fast enough. I didn't think anyone saw. You didn't think I would see, I corrected. He nodded slowly, guilt darkening his eyes. I stood up. Ethan, listen to me very carefully. A woman doesn't cling to a man like that unless she believes she has a chance, and a man doesn't let her cling unless he's hiding something. So tell me right now, is that all? Or is there more? He looked at me, defeated. There's more. My heart dropped again. Then say it. His voice cracked. Lily, she called me last month. A cold wave traveled down my spine. And? I asked. I didn't tell you, he whispered, because I didn't want you to misunderstand. But I'm misunderstanding now anyway, Ethan, I said, tears gathering despite my resistance. So tell me what happened. He rubbed his face with both hands. She said she wanted closure. She said she needed to see me one last time. I refused, Ava. I refused. But she kept messaging, calling. I blocked her eventually. But she still came to the party. I finished. He nodded slowly. I stared at him, my chest rising and falling with shallow breaths. You should have told me, I whispered. You should have trusted me. I know, he said softly, and I hate myself for not doing it. Silence hung between us, long, heavy, suffocating. Then he said something even softer. Ava, I think she came tonight to ruin us. My eyes widened. What? He stepped closer. I think she planned it. I think she wanted you to see. She wanted you to think the worst. She wanted you to leave me. I stared at him, trying to process the weight of his words. Why would she do that? I whispered. He exhaled slowly. Because she told me. She wasn't over me, and she thinks if you leave, I'll come back to her. I shook my head, overwhelmed. This is insane, Ethan. This is all so insane. He reached for my hand, slowly, cautiously. Ava, you are the only person I want. I swear to you, I didn't cheat. I didn't betray you. I just handled this wrong. Very wrong. I looked at his hand on mine, and then I pulled my hand away. His face fell instantly. I need time, I said quietly. I can't just pretend everything is fine. He nodded, tears gathering in his eyes. Something I had rarely seen. I'll give you all the time you need, he whispered. But before I could respond, suddenly, my phone buzzed. A message notification from an unknown number. I unlocked my phone slowly, confused. The message said, "You deserve to know the truth about Ethan." My breath hitched. Another message came in immediately. Meet me tomorrow. Alone. My hands began to tremble. Because underneath the message was a picture of Ethan and Lily in a place I didn't recognize, standing too close, smiling. My world tilted. My heart thudded painfully. Because this wasn't from the party. This picture was taken. Before tonight, my fingers went numb around the phone. The image burned into my eyes so deeply, it felt like it had etched itself into my bones. Ethan was smiling. Lily was smiling. Their faces were inches apart, not touching, but close enough to steal the air from my lungs. Ethan took a step toward me. "Ava, what's wrong?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. He saw the phone in my hands and reached for it, but I jerked away from him, like his touch might shatter me. "Ava, please," he whispered, panic rising in his voice. "What happened?" Slowly, I turned the screen toward him. His face drained of color instantly. He stared at the picture for a long, breathless moment, like someone had slapped him hard enough to knock the truth out of him. "Ava, I can explain. You said there was nothing between you," I breathed. "You said she was your past. You said you blocked her. So when was this photo taken? When?" He opened his mouth, but no words came out. His silence was louder than a confession. I stepped back. He stepped forward. "Ava, listen to me." "Was it last month?" I whispered. "Was it last week? Was it tonight, before I came?" "No," he said immediately. "God, no, Ava, please just hear me out." "Then say it." My voice cracked. "Say something that makes sense, because right now every second you stay quiet feels like another lie." He ran a shaking hand through his hair. "She showed up at my office 2 weeks ago." My stomach twisted so violently I thought I might collapse. "You met her." My voice came out hollow, almost distant. "You told me you blocked her. You told me you never saw her." "I didn't meet her," he said quickly. "She showed up without warning. My manager let her in thinking she was a client. I told her to leave. I told her it wasn't okay for her to come there. But you didn't tell me," I said, the words sharp enough to cut. Again. He flinched like each word was a blow. "Ava, I handled it wrong, but I didn't want to worry you. I didn't want you to think anything was happening." "But something was happening," I whispered. "Not cheating, but hiding, and secrets can destroy relationships just as fast." He stepped closer, desperate. "Ava, please look at me. I swear on my life. I didn't ask her to come. I didn't want her there. I didn't smile at her the way it looks in that picture. She caught me off guard. She asked for a quick photo saying it was for closure, and You let her," I whispered. He froze. "You let her take a photo. For closure." He didn't answer, and in his silence, everything inside me cracked silently. Another message buzzed on my phone. This time, it was a video. Just a 1-second preview thumbnail. Ethan. Lily. Talking. In his office. My heart felt like it was being crushed by invisible hands. I tapped the video with trembling fingers. It opened. At first, there was no sound. Just the image of Lily, standing close to Ethan's desk. Ethan looked tense, uncomfortable, but not shocked. Not surprised, like he'd been dealing with this moment longer than he'd admitted. Then the sound came on. Lily's voice, soft, but painfully clear. "Ethan, do you really love her that much?" He didn't answer immediately in the video. In real life, beside me, he squeezed his eyes shut like he was reliving a nightmare. And then, in the video, he said, "Yes, but that doesn't mean I don't care about you." My heart stopped completely. The real Ethan reached for me. "Ava, that's not what it sounds like." But I stepped away again, faster this time. What else is there to sound like? I whispered, my voice barely holding together. You told her you still care. I meant as a human being, he cried. Not romantically. She was crying, Ava. She was falling apart. I didn't want to hurt her more. I didn't want to be cruel. So you lied to her, I said softly. And now you're lying to me. His face broke. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you everything now. I looked at the phone in my hand. The unknown number had sent another message. He's not who you think he is. Then another. Meet me at 4 p.m. tomorrow. I'll show you everything. My breath shook. Ethan. Someone is sending me this. Someone who knows you. Someone who knows her. He reached out again, not forcefully, but with trembling desperation. Ava, don't meet them. Please, someone is trying to destroy us. Maybe they don't have to. Ava, maybe we're destroying ourselves just fine. He looked like he'd been punched, his shoulders collapsing inward. Ava, please don't say that, he begged. Please don't walk away from what we have. I'm not walking away, I whispered. Not yet, but I'm not staying blind either. He shook his head hard. You're going to believe a stranger over me? I'll believe the truth, I said, my voice steadier now, colder. Whoever shows it. Tears filled his eyes. Not the soft kind, but the helpless, terrified kind. Ava, I love you. I've only ever loved you. Don't let her win. Then stop giving her openings to win, I whispered. Silence wrapped around us again. Thick, heavy, choking both of us. I walked past him slowly, my steps shaking, but determined. Where are you going? He asked, voice breaking. To sleep, I whispered. Alone. He didn't follow me this time. He just stood there in the living room, the soft lamplight casting shadows across his face, making him look like a man who was losing something he didn't know how to hold on to. When I reached the bedroom, I locked the door. For the first time in years. I slid down to the floor on the other side, my back against the door, tears finally spilling down my face in unstoppable waves. My phone buzzed one last time. A final message. Tomorrow. Everything changes. I stared at the screen, chest tightening. I didn't know who was behind the messages. I didn't know what their intentions were. But I knew one thing for certain. Tomorrow, I would learn the truth. And whatever that truth was, my life would never be the same again.